Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. So this is another mail and donations video. I've been holding back on those lately because there simply hasn't been a lot of stuff to show you, and they became a little repetitive and boring perhaps. But today I have something, not the most interesting perhaps. There's a Commodore 64 in unknown condition inside this box, and then some other smaller items. So let's take a look at that. And it is a little bit messy up here right now. I'm working on this one. This is a controller card for another one of those old coin game machines. I made one video about repairing such a machine before. I'm not making a video about this, but this is faulty and I'm trying to repair it and debug what's wrong with it. It has these 7-segment displays, and they're supposed to be counting now, but they're not. They're stuck at 0. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And since there's no schematics for this board, I have to go through everything manually and try to figure out how the various chips works. This is a 12 volts board, and it's all old CMOS chips, and yeah, I need to trace all the traces manually and try to guess. All the traces goes up and down through the card, lots of vias and a lot of mess, so I've drawn a lot of notes here just to try to trace back where the problem comes from. Not successful so far, but I think I'm gonna make it. But let's start with some packages, and the first one came from AliExpress. I guess it's some kind of kit with the components. I don't remember now. Not the most interesting. Oh, it's screws. Yeah, right. I find myself in a situation a lot of times. I need some screws, and these are really small screws. And yeah, these were a little bit smaller than I imagined. It's M1 to M1.7, so that's not the biggest screws, but for 3D printing, and when you're building something from 3D printed parts, you often have to connect or screw together some parts, and you need some small screws. This can be used for that. It's called Hollow Rivet Kit, 500 pieces, everything you need for fastener. Next one, also from AliExpress, and I also think this is screws. I was on a screw shopping round recently. Yeah, this is more usable, I guess. These are M2.3 up to M3, 450 pieces. And seems like they're all put into small plastic bags. What's the point with that? I don't need those small bags. Yeah, this is more useful sizes, both long and short. Yeah, this might even fit for some of the regular computers that are missing some screws, like the Commodore machines. Yeah, nice to have. Cost next to nothing. AliExpress. This one too from AliExpress. Thing is, packages arriving in Norway, they get repacked and get a new label, so I can't really read the original label to see what it is I actually bought, but yeah, just have to be a surprise then. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, yeah. Ah, this one. yeah, I saw this one demonstrated in some video. I think it was Adrian's Digital Basement, so I just wanted it. It's the Cycle Logic. It's CGA graphics adapter clone for the old XT PCs, but it has some original chips, like this one, the MC6845, and yeah, no, this is regular ROM. What's this? SRAM, I think. And these are some custom chips. Yeah, and just some logic chips there. Put on a newly made PCB. Yeah, it seems to have been inserted in a machine, because I can see there's a little bit of marks on the edge connector there. Nothing more, and you can find this on AliExpress, believe it or not. And it was only $34 US, including shipping. Yeah, it's for, as I said, the old XT machine, the 8086 and 8088 and 8088 machines. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna test this in this video, because it's a lot of setup for me to do that. I'm in the middle of another project now, but I'm thinking about making a separate video about that sometime later. Alright, this goes quickly. The last of the little packages is from Slovakia, and it says something here: printed circuit board plus ICs kit. Let's take a look at that. Slovakia, yeah, that's in Europe too. I think they are a member of the EU, or the European Union, which Norway is not. But we still have full cooperations with the EU when it comes to commerce and laws and everything. Okay, let's take a look at this kit. Interesting. Yeah, there's a bunch of small components, a bunch of chips and sockets, and a small PCB. And as usual, if you need to have produced your own PCBs, you can use my sponsor, PCBWay. I don't know if this was produced by PCBWay, but it could be. And this is the XT CF Lite. And this is a compact flash hard disk emulator for the old 8-bit XT machines. I recently made a video about an XT machine, and it had an old, partially working original hard disk with just 20 megabytes of space, and that's not a lot. So I just wanted something like this, a modern solution for that, and I obviously have to build it myself. That's gonna be a little bit challenging. The CF card reader port here, it's surface mounted soldering, and yeah, very small pitch. I'm gonna zoom in, so that's gonna be hard to do. I haven't done a lot of that kind of soldering, but the rest of the components should be easy. It's just a through hole. Yeah, it's SV 1.1, S2 SV 1.3, and some other information here I don't really know. There's some switches, some memory addresses and mapping. Okay, so this is going to be built in another video sometime later, so you just have to stay tuned then. Alright then, final item, the big box, and this is something I bought from Norway. It's a Commodore 64 in non-working condition. I didn't pay a lot for it. Yeah, this one I'm gonna test, see if it actually do work, or if it's an easy fix, and if it's not, then obviously I'm gonna try and repair it. Yeah, well packaged. Then I have another box to use when I'm sending stuff. I never have to buy plastic wrapping or boxes. Yeah, this is the power supply, and this is of course a white Commodore 64c, but exactly what kind of model it is, I don't know. Yeah, that's the regular cubic power supply. Yeah, the machine is in one piece, nothing broken. It yeah, was not completely assembled, but it looks very nice. Looks actually quite clean. Nothing seems to be wrong. Yeah, nothing much to see. C64 serial number, Commodore 64, made in Western Germany. Then it doesn't have the screws, so you don't need a screwdriver to open this. Let's just open it then and test it right away. Check if there's any missing pieces. Yeah, it's the one where the keyboard just hangs loose here. The cheap, cost-reduced version. And this terrible RF shield paper. Okay, that looks to be complete. No missing parts. Very dusty as usual. A lot of chips soldered directly to the board. And it's 250-469 revision 4, and that's exactly the same machine I built myself in a video series before, my golden C64. Yeah, and it has the most of the regular chips from the C64, like the CPU and VIC-2 and all that stuff. The only problem is this one, this big PLA and memory management unit chip, and if this is broken, then it's hard to find, I think, and if you find some, it's expensive. So let's hope it's not that. And yeah, it has a different pin pitch also, so it's hard to even find a socket to put these chips into. Alright, so far looks like it's a good buy. Let's hook it up and do a little diagnostics on this and see what's wrong with it. I'm not gonna repair it in this video unless it's something really simple, like the fuse is blown. Oh boy, I wish I had a bigger place. It's cramped up here now. Yeah, let's hook it up and see if we get something out of this. So I actually hope it doesn't work, because then I have something to do to fix. So I hooked up a modern power supply, not the original one that came with the machine. Well, look at that, it actually works. Bummer, but also a bummer for the seller, who got a low price on it, because he said it's broken. Maybe it's just the power supply then. Yeah, and these DIN connectors can be a little bit hard to measure with a multimeter. You could use the opposite gender connector if you have one like that, but you can also do like this. Just use a piece of heat shielding. Wasn't it those two pins there? Then it's easier to get your multimeter correctly set. Okay, it says exactly 5 volts, 5.080, so no issue there. But let's try the AC line, see if that have 12 volts, or is it 10, 9, 10 usually. 10.8, yeah, so this power supply is perfect. So this is what you actually should do before you plug in an old power supply like this, because the Commodore power supplies are known to be failing and they can damage your computer. It has never happened to me actually, but you never know. Yeah, machine works just as fine. However, just starting into BASIC and presenting this blue screen is not an indication that everything works. I'm gonna hook up the diagnostics cartridge and the harness to check all the hardware and stuff. And the harness, it's a set of loopback adapters and stuff you put into your ports. Serial port, this is for the user port, and that one connects also to the cassette port and the joystick ports. Because that's necessary to test the ports, obviously. And you can either have the keyboard installed, or you can use this thing here in the joystick port. It goes this way. Let's check it out. Yeah, all the RAM is good. Cassette says bad, serial bad, and user port bad. How about the SID? There is no sound. So perhaps the SID chip is dead then. However, the user port stuff and cassette, it might just be dirty contacts. So I'm gonna clean those up with some contact cleaner. Both sides. They look quite dirty, so could be as simple as that. Check again, but the clock does not change. And with the serial, user port and cassette port bad, then that's a clear indication that CIA chips are gone and there's no sound. I have a replacement SID here. Let's check if that helps. I think it's the correct one. You should never put a longboard SID into a shortboard. It says here SB SID, so I guess that's a shortboard SID. No, there's no sound from that either, so it must be something else then. Anyway, since the CPU is running fine and yeah, the machine all over is running fine, then I don't suspect the PLA chip, that big one, is faulty. Definitely points to the CIA chips. I know there are replacements for those. There's 2 on this. I think I have a couple of spares, so I can at least try with those. That's a bit strange. I mean, there isn't a lot other than the SID chip responsible for the sound. Maybe it goes through the VIC, not really sure. The VIC 2. Just gonna pump in some contact cleaner, see if that helps. It doesn't say bad on U18, which is the SID chip. So it must be something else. Nope. No sound, and yeah, I know there's some capacitors and stuff, maybe a transistor or 2 that's responsible for producing the actual audio output. Maybe something in the RF modulator as well. Alright, so one indication that the CIA chips are, or one of them are gone, is that the keyboard won't work. Also an indication is that you don't get the cursor blinking, but definitely that was there. And if the serial and the cassette doesn't work, then you can't use cassette player and floppy disk drive, obviously. Let's try the keyboard then. No, the keyboard works fine. So maybe it's just one of the 2 CIA chips that's gone then. Actually going to hook up a cassette drive, but the cassette drive is actually controlled also from the CPU, both the CIA and the CPU, and the floppy disk serial communication is also from one of the CIAs. So I'm just gonna assemble this and we can test with some real old hardware. Yeah, it seems to be some, yeah, this clip there is broken off, but I mean with one or three in place it should be good enough. Otherwise I can just glue something on there. Oh my god, come on. Let's try cassette first. Yeah, found one here. I think I have 10 of these in various conditions. You know, this grounding wire, that was actually for connecting to the old PET machines. You needed to ground the cassette player, but on the C64 you don't need to. But you could use this as a reset switch. Just touch one of the contacts on the user port. I think a lot of machines got damaged by that method. I'm using this turtle game because it's always working when I test. Okay, yeah, that's a problem. It doesn't power. It doesn't even power the cassette drive. So no point in trying that. And then I definitely think there's a transistor responsible for that. I have had issues with that before. Yeah, it doesn't run. Just to make sure, I'm using another cassette deck here. So it does react to play, but it doesn't actually run. So yeah, it's not powered. How about floppy drive then? I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, but it doesn't hurt to test. This one is a little bit difficult. Okay, it reacts when I turn on the machine. Okay. Nope, doesn't work. Device not present. Maybe it's set up as 9. Nope. But it does initialize at least. Nope, nothing. Alright, so now we know the status of this machine. So we tested it. And today is 28/10/24. No audio, no serial, no cassette. That's what we work with now. CIA. Alright, that was it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Now I have a material for a couple of other videos later. This machine, for example, needs to be repaired, and that XT CF Lite card needs to be built. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for all the subscriptions, and thanks to my members and Patreons. See you next time. Bye bye.